pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll call this meeting of the Henry County Board of Supervisors on July 31st, 2025 in session. First thing is to approve the agenda. Motion to approve. Is there a second?
A second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Our first person is not here, is Lynn, Whaley. Yes, I know he said 9 o'clock when I talked to him yesterday. So we'll move on to Resolution 21-2025.
Did you want to approve the minutes?
Oh, excuse me, ma'am, excuse me, thank
That's
you.
okay.
That's so much better get all this other stuff done. Motion for the July 24th, 2025 minutes.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second? Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None. Is it, you want it on another paper?
Hmm?
You want it on a different paper?
Yeah, I have it upstairs. No, it's like-
Alright. So, our next thing on our agenda is Lynn. You want to come up front, Lynn? We're ready
Wow.
for you.
Good timing.
Yeah, luckily I got something, you know, we've been late.
Thank you.
So before you have your month-to-month report in reference to the usage, that's your top portion of this report. That just shows you how many people come in just 15 minutes prior to noon, and that's your first parentheses there, and then the second is the total for the day, and then the third would be what comes in from 5 to 6 o'clock. Kind of shows your average, your monthly totals. You can see January through, actually through June there. July's not finished yet, but kind of gives you your totals where we're at in reference to usage. You can see usage, it looks like it may be a little bit on the downward side. However, it might look like that, but your tonnages are actually, I can tell you, your tonnages are actually up the first 6 months of this year. And I think that's a lot because it's been raining like every other day. So we're hauling a lot of wet water, and my personal tonnages are out the roof. So, because we're hauling a lot of water to the landfill, so.
The pack's better though.
Yeah, it does pack well. You see your, the tonnages below that, for 2025, landfill tonnages of 403.33, currently through, that's completely through July, because we won't have anything until Friday, August 1st. So we're clean out there right now until this Friday, so we're 403.33 on the tonnage for landfill, recycles 39.47 tons for the, up through July. And then you can see the scrap metal, batteries, appliances, CRT items, tires, and oil. Those are all at the bottom of the line items. Your second page is just basically a year-to-year review. Right now, currently through July, you're 398.6 tons through July in your tonnage. If you look at the 6-month average for 23 and 24, 23 we were like, that equates to 386 ton, I believe, in comparison to where we're at right now. And then last year we were, I believe it was 360. If you add those numbers, that was like 360. So we are on the higher side this year for the first 6 months of the year, by about 10 ton compared to 23 and 30 ton compared to 24. Again, I think that's all, we're hauling a lot of water. So our tonnages are up in comparison to the two. Down at the very bottom of that second page, you can see the residential usage. Those are year to year. So 23 we had 36,544, and 24 we had 36,294, and current through June we're at 17,396 people. So I think we're kind of about average. So, and that's actually through June, that count is. So we look like we're averaging about the same.
Right.
As far as
Very
usage,
close.
yeah. Only thing I would say is, I was talking to Mark there, I put some on their front page and the red down at the bottom. So year to year, we averaged 5.3 people come in from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. That's the average in the last 6 months of this year. So we averaged not even 5.5 people for that last hour. Something to look at. I guess my thought to the board, maybe look at maybe going from 11 to 5. But that's just, I'm just throwing that out there. So I'm sure that those 5.3 people that come in after 5 o'clock would not like that.
Probably not, yeah.
But if you look at how many come in prior to the 12 o'clock, this parentheses in front, you can see usage there. That's the column right here. At 48, 50, 41, 70, 76, and 57. So a lot of people show up 15 minutes early. You know what I mean? So that's something to look at and to let you know that people do come in prior to the noon hour and sit and wait. So something to consider.
So all that includes Saturday waits as well? Because I remember a couple of weeks
All
ago I
your,
was out
all
there.
your weights are, all of everything is there.
Derek said it was like the longest line he's ever seen.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
2 Saturdays ago, I think.
Yeah, Saturdays are big days, yeah.
Okay.
Some other things my concern would be that there's some pretty good sized holes in the drive coming into the center. There's one there, there's a small car to take the front end out, you know, you gotta miss it. I don't know who's responsible for that right there as you enter into the, off of Shimafini's, I'm not sure where the property line's at and all that good stuff, but there's some holes there, you've seen them, so. We have been preparing to paint some of the barriers around the office there and around the compactors.
Well, you did think this week.
Well, we had it all masked off.
Oh, yeah.
That rain came, and I said, pull the paper, we're having a mess. So we pulled all that paper back off.
Because we had back there.
Yeah, we had everything all masked up, but here come the rain, like, there's no way we're gonna beat the rain, so we had to pull the masking paper back off it. We had everything, we had the building masked off and everything, so. Yeah.
So your recommendation would be an hour early and close an hour earlier?
Correct, yep. We keep the same hours, but we just, open at 11 and close at 5.
Okay. Because we've been talking about that a little bit as well.
Okay, yeah.
Trying to figure
Yeah.
out if we should come an hour earlier than
Mhm.
noon to
Yeah.
get that taken care of.
Maybe 11
And the numbers
to 5.
kind of support that compared to the later hour.
I think that numbers do support it. I mean, you're it's about the same, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a wash, you know? So, but it's something to consider, I guess.
How is the, on a different subject there, how's that CRT thing coming out where you guys are taking those to Iowa City?
Yeah, it's working out okay. We had quite a few CRTs come in. Right after we did that, it seems like we've got a bunch of them come in. It's kind of paying off a little bit now, but yeah, it's working out just fine.
And you were just storing those off to the northeast
We're
corner?
putting them right now, we're putting them inside the container right now. Everything's going in the container now.
Okay, all right.
So, until we kind of, got a month of getting everything figured out how we're gonna do it all, and so they're all going into the container right now. The storage container that's out there.
And you just, are you gonna fill that and then take it, or?
Yeah, we'll fill it up. We get, I believe, 6 gaylords in there, and then what we do is we'll call them when we get 6 stored in there. If we get over that, we'll restack them and take them to our place. But once we get at least 6 stored, then we'll call them, they'll come down here, and then from here they'll go to Washington and pick up 6 at Washington, so we get a full load. We got a 12 or 11. So what I do is,
Okay.
I'm coordinate the 2 sites. We do Washington's as well, so I get 6 up there, 6 here, they'll just make a loop and go right back to Iowa City. Take Highway 1 right back up, so.
Yeah.
They're making a loop doing Henry County and Washington County.
Okay.
So it is, at your feeling, it's advantageous to go that route then
Oh.
with them?
Yeah, it's working, I think it's working good.
So I can report that to Austin?
I think that we should wait a little bit, we just started this, so, you know what I mean?
So far,
It's
so
working
good.
out, so far so good, you know?
Go back to the hours, since Saturday is so big, would an extra hour in the morning help?
You could probably, I would say if you were gonna do anything, bump up to 7:30, I don't know about 7 o'clock, I mean,
7:30.
maybe 7:30 might be, you know. You get a few people before, you know, 8 o'clock, they come in or waiting, you know. I won't tell you you don't, cause I've been over there Saturday morning many times and people be waiting, you know what I mean, so I'd say you could bump it up a half an hour.
Yeah, I would think that would be, you get, talk to
We
Derek.
we open up
Those
Washington
Saturday
County at
mornings.
7:30.
He's had some really long lines.
Mhm.
I know, I was in there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
It was as busy as I've seen it,
yeah.
and that's fairly early. so
It gets
sure.
busy from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. That's your really busy time. And that's, believe it or not, that's both sides. I mean, you just book, you know, Washington County's comparison, it's identical. Till 10 o'clock, people are start flooding in from 10 to 12.
And they both close at the same time, noonish.
We both close, Washington shuts down noon, and Montgomery County shuts down noon. So, but everybody comes in at 10 o'clock. You would think that if I was a county, well, I am, but I would be like, I'm avoiding 10 to 12. Cause that's the busy time.
Yeah.
But, you know, but that's just, it's the way it is every Saturday. 10 to 12 is a busy time.
That makes sense. Understood. That's good information.
Yeah.
So that's really the only change you consider, is the little hour changes, and that.
Little hour changes. You can start early on Saturday, 7:30, and maybe move your regular work days to 11 to 5.
Okay.
We are still having compactor problems. Right now it is running properly, but it can just quit. He's got a new timer ordered for it, it's supposed to be in this Friday. So, yeah. I think it broke on us 3 times on Saturday, so I just kept a garbage truck there, you know. It'll just quit working, so they've been working on it, and he says the timer's waiting to be replaced on it, so they've got a timer for it, and it's supposed to be in Friday, so.
Okay.
So far, yesterday we're fine, today's, we'll find out.
What's the timer actually run? I mean, it's
The
on the
cycle
main
time when it
push
comes,
button.
yeah, but when it comes back, I guess there's a timing sequence, so when it comes back and retracts, there's a little, switch, a relay switch.
So that's everything cool off before.
My understanding is, well, when it hits the relay switch, I know that, I thought it was that switch, but that's not the problem. Because it's hitting it, it's tripping it, but then it's just timing it out, it's like it's, yeah. So,
Anything else for Lynn?
I don't think so right now. Answer my questions.
I
Thank
do
you.
have a question for you, who's still working on the cameras? Derek is, okay, I'll get ahold of him, we got some cameras we need to get readjusted, and so we can use them, you know, they're there, like we still use them, you know.
So does that feed into your office, or does that?
Feeds it in an office there, yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, so.
And do you save that video, or?
I don't,
Those cameras?
I don't know if Derek records it or not, I don't
It's
think.
saved,
Is it
and
saved?
it's saved up to so many hours or so many
Yeah.
days.
Just for reference for you guys?
Yeah,
Okay.
my Arlo saves it for 7 days, so
Okay.
I can go back to my Arlo cameras, and I'm sure it probably does, yeah, so. Any other questions?
No, you help us out.
Yeah,
Been working on this,
Okay.
be ready for it for too long.
sounds good.
All right,
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lynn.
You bet.
Okay, next on our agenda is the resolution 21-2025, which has to do with the designated voting representation for the Iowa Association of Counties. I'll read it. Whereas Henry County is a member of the Iowa State Association of Counties, and whereas the ISAC Articles of Incorporation were updated in November 2024 to require counties to designate through the resolution by the Board of Supervisors its county voting representative, and whereas only the designated county voting representatives have the power to vote on behalf of the county at ISAC, and whereas the county voting representative must be either elected county officials or the principal officer of each county department represented by an affiliate associated with ISAC. Now therefore be it resolved, the Henry County Board of Supervisors, in effect immediately, whereby the designate the following person to the county representation for ISAC. For the supervisors would be Mark Lundin, Chad White, and Steve Dietrich. for the sheriffs and deputies would be Richard McNamee. County attorneys would be Darren Stater. The auditor would be Robin Dietrich. Treasurer would be Kelly Sloan. Recorder Renee Buffington. Engineer would be Jake Hotchkiss. Assessors Nathan Milks. The emergency management would be Walt Jackson. Conservation Caleb Waters. Public health Katie Ryder. Planning and zoning Joe Buffington. Technology would be Derek Wellington, and for the Veterans Affairs officers would be Roger Pitzenbarger. The county shall forward the copy of this resolution with the name of signed designated voting members to representing to Iowa County ISAC. We have this motion for a resolution. Is there a motion to approve this resolution 2125?
Yeah, make a motion to approve the resolution.
Is there a second?
Yes.
Second. Discussion now. Haven't found out this is an IRS requirement.
Correct, yeah.
You did a little more digging into it?
Yeah, apparently ISAC is a 503c corporation and they have to follow IRS guidelines, so the counties really technically represent the organization as a whole, so the counties need to have voting representatives to support IRS mandates. So this is in response to that. Steve, any comments from your perspective?
That's exactly what it is.
So this is something we've done all along, but finally it's finalized.
Yep.
Formal.
And I think we have a pretty good understanding of why we have to do it. And the next ISAC meeting, for anybody's information, is the 20th through the 22nd of August.
So with that, any other discussion? I'll entertain a roll call vote then.
Dietrich,
Yes.
Lindy,
Yes,
Mike.
Yes.
motion passes. Okay, thank you. Next on our agenda is the third and final reading of the standard penalty amendment. Does everybody want me to read this, or we just look at it and if there's any questions, we can answer? We've gone through this twice already.
Just seeing if I had it pulled up. I knew I did. but I'm not finding it. There we go. I think the only thing was like maybe a minor scrivener change, is that right, Mark? On section 4 with the FEMA penalties.
Yep. We've added that portion right there. Any questions from those in attendance on this? You want it read? I see no positive comments towards being read. So, with the one minor change from the prior two readings, I'll entertain a motion to approve the third and final reading.
I make a motion to approve the third and final reading of the standard penalty ordinance.
Is there a second?
Yes, sir.
We have a second. Any other discussion on this?
No, I think to your point, we've had quite a bit of discussion in third reading, so I think everybody is pretty clear, and this has undergone some major changes.
Yes, it
obviously,
has.
From where it came
Very
from.
major. So with that, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? No. Next on our agenda is a resolution 22-2025 to discuss and establish a moratorium on commercial and solar battery storage. You wanna read it?
Yeah, all
Yeah,
right.
read it for us, please.
I'll read the, resolution 22-2025. Establishing a temporary moratorium on the rezoning of land to the alternate energy overlay district for the purpose of siting, approval, and operation of a commercial solar energy and battery energy storage system. Whereas the size and impact of a commercial solar energy and battery energy storage system have the potential to create an excessive burden on the county's infrastructure, the environment, wildlife, and nearby property owners. And whereas commercial solar energy and battery energy storage systems require a rezoning of the alternate energy. I apologize for that. Whereas the Henry County Board of Supervisors recognizes that the commercial solar energy and battery energy storage systems may affect the character and appropriate land use of the surrounding area, and the board desires that all applications for commercial solar energy and battery energy storage systems be considered consistently within the purpose and intent of the Henry County ordinance, so that the most appropriate uses of land are encouraged throughout unincorporated Henry County. And whereas the Henry County Board of Supervisors desires to explore the possibility of changing the siting, approval, and operation required for commercial solar energy and battery energy storage systems considered by the Board of Supervisors. And whereas changing said review requirements would necessitate amendment to the Henry County zoning ordinance. And whereas Henry County is currently in the process of updating the 2017 Henry County Comprehensive Plan, and said process will involve multiple public input sessions to hear valuable county resident opinions on commercial solar energy systems. With that said, should that include the battery system there too?
Solar battery.
Probably, I think, right here. But I think overall, the title includes that, but we can ask Joe to add that in there.
We got it everywhere else.
Yeah.
Okay, continuing. Now therefore be it resolved that the Henry County Board of Supervisors hereby establishes a temporary moratorium on the rezoning of any land to the alternate energy overlay district for the purpose of the construction, installation, and operation of facilities designed to generate and store energy from commercial solar energy and battery energy storage systems expiring 11:59 p.m. Central Time, 12 months after the date the moratorium is established, unless extended by further action of the Board of Supervisors, to allow the above referenced changes to the Henry County zoning ordinance concerning commercial solar and battery energy storage systems to be duly considered by the Henry County Planning and Zoning Commission and the Henry County Board of Supervisors. And be it further resolved that the Henry County Board of Supervisors reserves the right to end the moratorium prior to the approved term of the moratorium upon completion of the amendments to the Henry County zoning ordinance and satisfactory resolution of the issues as determined by the Board of Supervisors. And be it further resolved that the moratorium approved on this resolution shall become effective immediately upon adoption of this resolution. Approved, signed, or dated this 31st day of July 2025.
So I'll entertain a motion then to, we'll have to have a vote, but a motion to approve this.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve that based on a little discussion.
Okay, is there a second?
Yeah.
Have a second. We'll have discussion now, let's.
So Steve, in your opinion, you looked at this, right?
Got a copy last night.
Yeah, so that one
Quick
change.
review, looks okay. Form-wise,
That one little change we're talking about, adding.
that I don't think makes a difference. That's kind of Scrivener's error. It's mentioned if it's mentioned everywhere else and you just left it off one sentence,
Right.
you can add that in.
We
Okay.
could add that in?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's no problem.
And I think, just for everybody's information, we are in the process of probably scheduling another work session. We already had one work session to talk specifically about where we're at with solar and battery storage systems, and I supplied an update to Chad, Mark, and I think Steve, as well as Joe, in some conversation I've had with the folks at Russ, with Bruce Hudson, who's kind of in the middle of this in WEMIGA County. I've also added information from Tyler, how do you say his last name? Dean from Access Energy, who was a really good resource and offered to come in anytime we needed him to give us some input. And then also talked with Justin Dunn over at the NRCS. So got good information, good feedback that I've shared. So as we have our work sessions, we can get a little more into some of the basics, but ties back into what we're doing here with the moratorium.
So with that, we wanted this in place prior to removing the moratorium on wind. So and that'll be next week. We're having that on the agenda. So just over information, so you understand what our thought process was.
And then at some point, Joe's gonna get with the planning and zoning folks, his commission, to review all of our input, right?
Believe so.
Okay. Chad?
I had reached out to, I'm gonna call him an area expert in energy sources and distributions and things like that. Jack Kedgecott said he would be available to answer any questions or give any technical explanations of questions that might come up in our conversations. Be glad to add what he could, so.
Thank you. Yeah.
I will,
Excuse me, Mark, Chad put 12 months in there, so
Mhm.
are we all in agreement?
I'm fine
good
with that. So
Okay.
it'll be the 1st of August next year.
Okay, I'm good with that.
And that last paragraph or second paragraph says that could be reduced or changed once the work's done, so.
Good.
I know we have a lot of interest in this in our county, by some people. I will, at this time, I will go up beyond, take my liberty as chairman. Is there anybody in the audience have any questions about what we're up to right now? Okay,
What he read wasn't the same. There was a paragraph that wasn't on yours as what was read. That part, it's before the now, therefore it be it resolved. Yep, right in between now, therefore, yeah, there was a paragraph in the section that mentioned the comprehensive plan, but that's not on that one up there.
My apologies, but that's the one Joe and Luke had.
Should be the one that's up there on the screen.
Okay, so the part about the comprehensive plan is removed?
Because the one we have has the,
And that's the ones that I
12.
sent you,
yeah,
Okay, so that'd been the one.
so
Joe
I
put
didn't
in
know
yesterday.
any.
That's not your day. Joe just sent it to me like 8:54 this morning.
So does that mean the comprehensive plan doesn't apply?
In that,
it's what we read, it's what we're voting on.
Chad
What
read
was
it
read
below.
was the comprehensive plan.
I read what was printed out.
So it's, what's up there, you had the early version that included that paragraph that was taken out. As far as I understand, that was, I know Joe's intention, I don't.
Yeah, that sounds correct. But this is the most correct version, to your point, that's not in here, but we have discussed that as part of our discussion in general, talking about a comprehensive plan with CSR values of 65 or greater being concerned. And we'll continue to work with that as part of our concerns as we start to develop the input that we are all working on to transition over to Joe and the planning and zoning folks. So that is definitely a concern, yes. Do you want to go with that, Mark?
Sounds good.
Does that answer your question?
Yes,
We will keep it on the high top.
it's just not part of the moratorium. Yeah,
Yeah.
got it.
With that, I'll entertain a roll call vote.
Dietrich,
Yes.
Lindy,
Yes.
and White.
Yes.
Okay. Motion, the resolution is approved. Next thing is on our agenda, subcommittees.
I last week had a subcommittee meeting with Southeast Iowa Regional Planning Commission. We talked in detail with where we're at today on projects that are on the list, and I shared some of that last the last meeting with Great River Housing Trust Fund, which is part of Southeast Iowa Regional. So we continue to evolve and develop plans. We are going to have Zach James in here in the very near future to sit down with us and talk through where we're at with not just Southeast Iowa Regional, but the Great River Housing Trust Fund, and see where we're at with projects and what we need to do to help motivate and move folks along as we start talking about projects within Henry County, very specifically, because we have a lacking compared to the other counties and projects. So we're going to try to resolve that and move forward. Questions for you guys?
It's good.
No, we just saw one of your emails asking for certain updates.
Yeah, I had
That sounds
several
good.
questions from Zach with one of the funds that we created back in 2000, which we apparently haven't made a great number of loans to. I don't know if you have much background on that or not, but we'll get more feedback and I'll share that.
Jay, do you have any?
The Mississippi Valley workforce that we had the conference call with, what was it, last week? That vote was taken yesterday. It was a unanimous vote for all the county board representatives from each of the 8 different counties voted to move forward with the merge with South Central workforce area down there. Their board also voted, that grouping of counties also had a unanimous vote to entertain the merge and move forward with that. So there's some secretarial work back and forth to be done with the Iowa workforce, and then they will look at the plan, and they could still reject it, but why would they do that? You know,
So excuse me, when you say they could reject it, you talking about our workforce?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So did you have any more discussion on the larger merger after this takes effect on the Northeast corridor?
Northeast was not part of it. At this point, it was not to be considered in this vote. It may come up in the future, but at this point in time, it was premature to include them in any of their business dealings. They had some things that they were still working on that the package deal didn't include and everything. So at this point, it just now includes Mississippi and South Central. So
Good. Didn't you have another one? Didn't you go to a meeting on Monday?
I went to an economic development meeting here locally. We talked about the a feasibility plan on what the local area is wanting to do with interviews. They're interviewing like 50 some odd people have been interviewed so far to see what the directions and motivations of the community might be. So they did really a detailless meeting about that. They said that it's underway. Said there's been good response back, and details will be coming 21 August. So.
Good.
All right. I had no subcommittees, public comments. Leland?
A couple weeks ago, actually a couple weeks ago to tomorrow, I was out at the Henry County Fair, and I was sitting next to the New London mayor, and I just got to visit with him a little bit, and I asked him if his wind turbine was making money. He said he couldn't tell. He said the way it's metered in and everything, they got no way to monitor it. And then he mentioned the ordinance that you guys came up with. I'll admit I'm not authorized to speak for him, but the indication was he approved of what you guys did for the ordinance, so I think you got an attaboy coming. Oh, never mind. Anyhow, and I'm being serious here. Okay, so now we got another problem. We're not gonna have wind turbines, so we're missing all this revenue, and we need to cut expenses. And I mentioned about the P&Z guy, and I think that's kind of interesting. You said you don't trust him, but yet you gave him this $10,000 bonus, and I asked if you took that off before you gave him pay increase. And I never heard anything back. Have you guys even looked into that? So how do we get an answer on that? Then the other thing is this anonymous letter I got about the IT guy, and I'm really curious who sent that to me. And it's gotta be somebody that's in here, knows what's being said and knows about it and probably knows other things. And I can't help but notice that when it's time for public comments and I'm here, your attorney gets up and leaves. And last week, I wasn't here and he stayed. So maybe that's an indicator who sent that letter to me, I don't know. So anyhow, then I get to read in the paper, the public legal notices or whatever. And here I see, Mark Hahn IT contract, $2,800. Now how's that fit in with Derek Wellington? You know, what's up with that? And then I go on down and I read Maureen Walsh Lindeen, medical exam, $75. Now I thought that a county employee couldn't be supervised by her spouse that's also another county employee. And it just reminds me of a few years ago, we had a county employee put tens of thousands of dollars in his own pocket, used his wife's name to cover it up, and nothing happened about it, so that kind of opens the door for other people to try it. Anyhow, that was I think that's probably the biggest scam in Henry County history. So, with that, I've been told several times my approach is not very professional. So I'm going to change my approach today. And I'm just going to ask you, is there anything I can do personally to help you clean this mess up? I'm done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Bob?
Yeah, I got an interesting phone call yesterday, and the number was, for your information, 319-694-5050. And he seemed to know my address, and then he says, I see your light bill is over $100 a month, and you're with Access Energy, right? I said, well, you didn't do your research very well, because no, my light bill is not over $100 a month. I'm not with Access Energy, I'm with New London Utilities. And furthermore, I've already got solar, so take me off your call list. They're out there. Just a heads up.
There's a lot of people out there fishing for information. I mean, daily I get a call for, wanting me for Part A and Part B and what all the parts of the Medicare, and, you know, they have me already enrolled and I think have planned it already.
Yeah.
I'm not even eligible for that yet, so.
Yeah, they're
Just gotta
out
be
there trying to
cautious.
scalp you every time there is. And I also got a email that had a PayPal payment out of North Carolina for Bitcoin. So get phishing emails like that, just delete them. Don't even answer.
Anybody else? Melanie?
It's been about a month probably since I've brought it up, so I'm going to bring it up again, asking about the video, the process, having video of the meetings, also having a bigger space, because I know that is tied into the video for the meetings, so I don't know where we are with that process, but I would welcome input or whatever we can do to help facilitate that. Again, I've brought up other counties. I haven't been able to attend the last couple of Des Moines County work sessions. They're working on their wind ordinance, and I've been asked to assist the citizens there. And so I've been able to attend online, which is very helpful. Also, there's so many cool community events going on this weekend. Obviously, I'm partial to Trenton since we're part of that community. The Trenton Car Show, the Winfield Crooked Creek Days, and New London's also having something. So, and I think Salem is having something, right? The kickball tournament or something. So many cool things going on. I love our communities and our small towns. So hopefully we'll all go out and support one of those. Thank you.
Anybody else? Seeing no other comments, hearing none, motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Thank you.
Second. All those in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, we are now adjourned.